Hello, Recon87 here, and welcome to episode 15 of our Austria-Hungary playthrough in Rule the Waves 2. So, in the last episode, we saw ourselves come out victorious in the first engagement against the French Navy, and have tipped the balance of power in the Mediterranean in our favour. That said, the French Navy is still a serious naval power, and they do have a significant edge in air power, and they have several light carriers deployed. Meanwhile, our scientists still haven't figured out how to make a torpedo bomber, so we are a long way from even having land-based attack planes. This was taken from a Twitch livestream, and we will rejoin the stream audio as we press for a decisive engagement. Yeah, so they're going to take a wee bit of time. I mean, those guys are repaired within a month, so that's not too bad. The software will probably be repaired within a month as well. Repair in this game is super quick, which I suppose is one thing which is slightly unrealistic, actually. Because you consider, some of the heavy damaged warships, even the likes of World War II, were out for 6-9 a month to a year. I mean, just picking them in my head, but it took a long time to get a heavily damaged ship back in service. But hey, I'm not complaining in this instance. We're still losing a little bit of money, but we should get 2 battle cruisers next month. These are old. They're okay. They pack a little bit of a punch. Certainly they can take out some of the older battleships, and it will be good just to have their numbers. And then once they are out, I can't afford that. I'm probably going to have to push out some of these CAs. And then we'll get 5 months away from a whole bunch more. No, we're not. We're 10 months away from a whole bunch more destroyers. And these are good. These are a lot better than the ones we currently have. They keep the 12 torpedo salvos, but have a lot more guns for fending off other destroyers. Solferino is the worst cheating AI ship in history. Well, yeah, maybe no comment. I couldn't believe that. Twice, you see it every now and again, but it's the fact that she was so close to sinking as well. That's what gets you something sus. Okay, so in terms of ships that are up and running at the minute, we've got 5 battleships and a battle cruiser, and a couple of heavy cruisers or armor cruisers to her 4 battleships and 2 battle cruisers. So I think we still have the larger fleet standing. And presumably Germany has her blockaded. Massively. Which is good, but I suppose slightly unfortunate that also they don't fight in this version of the game. It'd be nice if Germany sent some ships down to the Mediterranean, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, if we keep thinking of enemy numbers, we can put the war in our favour and we're not blockaded anymore. We're not blockaded at the minute. We have the numbers in the Med. See, we are 146 quote-unquote points versus their 108. We are not blockaded, which is good. They are blockaded. So Germany has 371 points to their 39. Which is, yeah, that's definitely a ratio at which your country is going to be blockaded. And if that's all Germany does, I will take it. Although, interestingly, not showing up with the B here that you would expect. And I wonder if that's purely because we are not the ones doing it. Not sure. Anything else we need to do this turn? Probably not. Alright, let's go for it. That was surprisingly exhausting. Enemy coastal raid. Okay, so I'm pretty happy to keep taking these enemy raids because we're well away from the air bases and their extra torpedo bombers. Of course, they have got now 2 CVLs in the area. A medium battle, so that probably means battle cruisers. So if we come in with battle cruisers and heavy cruisers and lights against their carrier, I give us a good chance. In fact, if everyone comes in, I still give us a good chance. Hey, RVT Analysis, thanks for the follow. Would that be Dicky by any chance, given the similarities of the names? If not, you two should have words. Okay. Let's go for it, see what we get. Ah, yes it is. Well, hey, welcome along. Good to have you. Well, this is substantially smaller than I was expecting. I was talking up your analysis earlier, Dickie, and actually I think I learnt that everyone gets substantial money boosts when you're at war, not just people fighting, which is something I didn't know. So it's interesting and appreciated. Anyway, so we've got an old heavy cruiser, or actually this might be one of our newer ones. Okay, the newest heavy cruisers we've got. They're okay. Reasonable spread, 10-inch guns, a little bit of belt armor. What's the speed in these? Yeah, decent speed actually. It all depends what we're up against. If we're up against a battle cruiser, it's going to be a bad time. Let's find out. Or maybe we just won't find anything because it's nighttime. We do have a mission to raid somewhere, so maybe let's just, well, I'll keep it cruise actually. We'll kind of go up and down the coast, and in the morning we have an airbase at Benghazi, I believe, so we'll get some scouts out. It would be nice if you knew where their bombardment target was, but I also get that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. CL Navarra class. So that is what, down here? Well, even though we can't see ships, we can see torpedoes. Okay, that looks like it's the enemy force down here. So they've just tripped up over some other ships we've got in the area. These ones, presumably. If we hit something, it would be nice. No one said they're our torpedoes. Let's go back up to normal. Yeah, guys. Well, we can just run it, I think, as we head down this direction. Might be our torpedoes. Looks like it's the enemy forces there. Don't know what we're fighting against yet. Okay. At least we know roughly what area they're in. Ish. That's a lot of conflicting reports. What time are we at? Still very much for dead of night. I'm okay to go a little bit of a knife fight. You know, whatever where they changed course. Oh, hello. So these are our guys who did a little bit of exchange of fire. Don't know where they've gone now. Okay. We'll kind of keep buzzing around this general area. See if we can trip them. Yeah. You do very occasionally get collisions. I don't know if I've ever seen a friendly on friendly collision. But you can collide with the enemy. It doesn't happen very often though, to be fair, even when your models go right over the top of each other. You can get hit by your own torpedo. Yeah. Well, I've never hit myself with my own torpedo, but I have hit myself with friendly torpedoes. I don't know what the arrows. Oh, is that my more torpedo boats? Okay. No Name did it to himself at one point. I can imagine that you'd be pretty salty if you managed to shoot yourself with your own torpedo. I mean, that's almost impressive. Oh, right, okay. They didn't. Okay, it wasn't the same. The ship didn't hit itself with its own torpedo. It hit one of its friendlies. Yeah, that is pretty frustrating. But then, like, you say that it's also very frustrating when you get that you can't fire torpedoes because there's quote unquote friendly ships in the line of fire, and often there isn't. It would be nice to be able to override that, even if you accept the risk. I think this is going to be a bit of a dead rubber of an engagement, to be honest. We'll keep buzzing about for now. Maybe they tripped over our other forces and got scared off. That's right, we'll take a slight win, some VP points. A month goes by, so our battleships will be back out of the yard. So will theirs, so, you know, pros and cons. And we're not getting any scouting because the air operations are bad. Yeah, we'll just leave. Oh my god, they have 2 CLs and 1 destroyer. Fair enough. It would be, I mean, if we'd found them, we definitely could have sunk them, but ew. Bit of a nothing event, but we'll take it. Blockade, causing food shortages and privations. That's not a word I'm familiar with. Good. Carton's finished reconstruction, and Lisa, get a couple more battle cruisers to add to the fray. All forward main armament. Nice. Spam more TDs. We're getting there. We're building some. Our budget's still pretty touch and go. And in fact, I want at least one of these heavy cruisers. We have a really old one, so it's not that big a deal. Don't know if we can afford it, you know. Do you know, actually, what we need is this invasion to trigger, because that costs, I can't remember, but it's $1 million plus a month. It is quite expensive. Especially now we have all our or most of our ships back up. So only one that's back in the port is the Zrinyi. Which would be good to get her out and about. Apart from that, we're all up, so we have a massive number superiority, if I get my words out, in battleships at the minute in this area. So a large engagement I would be happy with. Do you know, I'm gonna get one of these guys resumed. We're only gonna be able to run it for a couple of months, but we'll see if we can't get with it. Fleet battle. Now, this is good. And we're nowhere near France, so oh no, that's not true. They have Tunisia. We might be in the range of torpedo bombers. The range isn't great at the minute, but we'll have to look at it. Keep an eye out for that. Oh, the cost is right there. Do you know what? My pointer was even over in this direction. I didn't even see that large table. Thank you, Dickie. Yeah, almost 2 million. So yeah, that's not cheap. But it is the most expensive kind of med province we're after, so it would be good to take that in warfare and not worry about having to pay for it with peace deal points. Okay, yes, we'll take this. Oh, running scared. We want the Solferino. Cruiser battle. This is more evenly matched. We will have one of our new models. I'd rather a larger engagement. Do you know what? I'm going to say no to this one. Destroyer raid? No, I'm not interested. They're just not interesting. Enemy raid on coast facilities, large battle. Perfect. Unexpected. Okay. But I'm happy we turned in that cruiser battle and ended up with this. This is much better for us. So we've got 3 battleships there. It's fine. We've got there 2 new ones and an old one because they love to mix and match. Be aware of enemy airplanes from carrier. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. What time of day are we at? 20 past or quarter to 2. So we've got a good chunk of the afternoon. Yeah, our only airbase is really up here. That is going to limit our spotting in this kind of area, which is presumably where the French are coming from. Okay. Let's just run the first minute and see where we find them. Unknown ship. I will take that. Let's get everyone's speeds up to probably just 20 knots for now, until we want to decide how we want to approach it. Yeah, this fits the Svigatar. Can do some scouting for us, as can these battlecruisers. We haven't got our full fleet here, so we could actually end up outnumbered if they bring everything and we don't, which is always a bit of a frustration when you have the superiority, but which is life. Okay, they're making a turn away. Just a CL. So ideally, what we want to do is find one of their light carriers. Okay, interestingly, they're just heading west. It's okay, I'm not too bothered about that. I'd quite like to run into your main fleet at some point. Where are my heavy cruisers? Here. What's your max speeds? That's pretty good actually. Right, go drawn 26 and we'll head over in this direction. Okay, we've got another spot over here. It's another CL. So that's also they've got a fairly wide screen we're tripping up against now. They haven't seen any of our heavier ships yet. And this looks like their main force here. So I wonder if we'll get a chance to see exactly what it is. We'll keep you a little bit closer. Let's go up squad max minus a couple. Okay, looks like they will have made the spot on our battle cruisers. Can you give us some clues as to what these are? Not letting us know yet. You guys are okay to come down. Keep you come down, okay? You just keep skirting the edge. I don't want you to get too embroiled. You're only a light cruiser. What we should probably do is kick up the speed of some of these other ones. Not that there's huge amounts of speed in our battleship formation. In fact, they're going to drop off a Kaiser maybe at this speed, because the older ones are only max speed of 20 because they are not very good, but ships of their time. A good mass of ships here, but for some reason we don't know where they are. And another formation, okay. Got a spot on, we think it's a battleship. Okay, so it looks like, if our spotting is accurate, which maybe, so we've got a battleship formation here. I think they have 3 in the area, which would be those ones. I can't remember the numbers now. And potentially a battle cruiser squadron there. So if we can obviously try and... our battleships are quite far away and will take a while to get in. So maybe let's not go too aggressive with the engagement. Let's see if we can't bait them slightly in our direction. Just be careful. Yep. Very wise words. Probably also useful to get, actually, probably a job for Sigisvar is once the kind of main battle's engaged, just to get him eventually to run down the south here. Just have a nosy about. If there isn't something else, or even we could get the Aurora to do it. Let's do that. You've got a job, just come straight down here. See if we can have a nosy in their rear and see if they've got anything else hiding for us. Okay. So our battlecruisers are willfully engaging theirs. I think they have us outgunned if I remember correctly, but we'll see once we've actually got a positive idea of their type. In terms of caliber, not in terms of number of guns, we'll obviously have more. And that doesn't help if our turrets jam. Targeting us, not that many light ships, which should give us a chance to do some more torpedo runs. Over Nancy, we've seen you before. Excuse me. Okay, so they're working 12 14-inch guns. That's a good compliment for a battlecruiser actually. Not much in the way of armor, and good speed. I don't think we had that many on our most modern one, which would be the Steerer Mark. Yeah, we only had 8. We went for the heavier caliber. We have better armor though, although we have lost a turret, which is it's like more than 30% of our firing ability now, which is a bit frustrating, and a risk of having the more guns and on a single turret. And these guys are, yeah, similar armour to the French, but lower caliber. Only by 1 inch though. We do have 3 ships there too, so I'd like to think we could beat them in a gun duel. Just have interest, what kind of range are we sitting at? Is it this one? There you go, so it's 17,000 yards. 17,000 yards, we can go through, yeah, 14.5 inch belt. Given they're on 14 inch caliber, they may not be able to penetrate us at this range. It might be sensible to keep it, although I am woeful at trying to maintain a specific range in this this game. Always sounds like a good idea, but it never really works in reality. And they've got a bit of a destroyer screen, so we'll have to watch out for that. Meanwhile, their battleship line continues to advance north. We've got ours coming down to meet it. I am going to slow these guys down so the other guy can keep up. We're trading blows. Okay, so the other one we've got is this Dunquiez class. I've seen before. Oh, because I may have gone for the fewer guns, higher caliber stuff. Okay. Now, unfortunately, our crew quality is not very good. The structure pass through. Oh, there you go. So Steiermark has been, as I was just talking about, not getting penetrated at this range. Indeed, it has been penetrated. Although I'm guessing if I look at this, the range is now closed. Yeah, down 15,000 yards. See? Might be worth taking turning a point away. Try and keep them a little bit extended range. Also draw this fight away from the battleships. It's probably a good idea as well. Meanwhile, heavy cruisers, right, we've got to decide what we're going to do with you guys. Probably get you involved in the battle cruiser fight, although obviously you are susceptible to damage from those battle cruisers, but we're engaging them with, obviously if they can only fire at one thing at a time. So having more ships involved isn't necessarily a bad idea, even if they are slightly weaker. Not to mention they should be able to take care of some of the screen stuff and maybe send their own destroyers in on a torpedo run. So that, I think, is what we'll do. We'll try and concentrate on this kind of left flank of their formation, if it will. Get another bit of potentially a brawl going with the battle cruisers up here. Near miss. Not a lot of hits on our side. I'm going to have words with our whoever's training our gunnery. Put you guys in the line ahead. Your screen, that's fine. You can use you guys to help trim out the small number of screens that they do have. Okay, so we're finally making a turn west. Be expected. So we may have ourselves have to turn north or turn back towards our battleships because they are slow and this engagement will pass them by if we are not careful. Oof. We're taking hits and we're not giving very many. Okay, we have hit them out there, but just with our secondaries. That's not what we want to see. That's better. Hitting them with a 13 inch. The older battle cruiser showing how it's done. It would be good to try and split these two lines. We'll have to see where they go. If they keep pushing west, we could always. It's probably a bit suicidal, but we could send a destroyer force in, kind of charging at the battleships to get them to turn away and put a bit of gap between them and the battle cruisers. Nice, a couple more hits. This is excellent. And that's less excellent. You guys are slowly coming down. Thoughts? I would still want to send a light cruiser into the rear, but I now also want this light cruiser to come in and engage these destroyers. I do have two more light cruisers up here. Maybe I'll try and make the run with this to this guy. Right. Thing is, you're going to be taking battleship hits the whole way. Nah, I'll keep it going with the Aurora. She can hopefully sneak around the outside of this engagement. Well, maybe not if they keep pushing west.
Okay, that's good, although secondary, there we go, 16-inch hit on the Nancy. Excellent. So we want to try and pound them with our gunnery. Right, can you guys close the distance, please, so you can actually get in range? Yeah, keep hitting them, this is good. That's also good, yeah, they hits back. In fact, that was secondary for a primary, so... less ideal than I claim it to be, but okay. Oh, that is a bad bad turn there. So we took a salvo from the Nancy. So Steel Mark taking a bit of a licking. Well, we put kind of, I say 3 hits out there, both secondaries again. Yeah, that was a poor turn of events. We had been doing quite well. This turret being out of action is really frustrating. I would quite like them to get it back into action again. The first thing that happened in this engagement, hitting the turret, disabled. Oh no, and hitting the turret, disabled again. These guys are sniping us. Okay, that was slightly painful. Right, come on heavy cruisers, you're so close to being involved. Okay, coming south, I'm gonna turn this guy around and get him to try and head down the coast, because Aurora's having to make a turn away because the fight's coming in her direction. Just secondaries. I mean, the secondaries are going to do damage, don't get me wrong. Okay, Kjartan's landing some blows, that's good. And some more. Okay. I feel like we're definitely winning this fight, even before our heavies have got here, our armoured cruisers have got here. Oh, it's going okay. And then, it's like they're saving them up, and then we'll just hit you with a salvo in one go. Ouch. So that's what, like, that's 12 pretty hefty hits this guy's taking. So there, where's that coming from? A Nancy. So that's the 14s, I think, 14-inch hits. Engine room, that's not ideal. That has reduced our speed. Hull hit superstructure. Okay. Their screen has completely run away, so we could also do a kind of torpedo thing we want, but I don't really want them to turn back towards the battleships. I quite like the fact we've pulled off this engagement. We are bringing some additional ships in, which hopefully help us out, and they're almost in range. If anything, I want to try and put some ships in between these two, force these guys to turn away, which I might try and do with these destroyers. I think that would be the best outcome. Isolate these guys a little bit. Nancy, Dunkirk, or not Dunkirk, Duquesne. Oh, I can't even say that. But again, a lot of secondary hits, which is fine, but not really what we want. And they've made a turn south. Maybe they've had enough. I will match that turn slightly. I don't want to get into a chase. We are keeping to land our heavy hits, although it's the rear battle cruisers doing well, and I suppose maybe they're not being shot at, which is helping their aim. Our battleships are slowly heading south at their pedestrian type speed. Landed another hit, this is good. As long as if we can damage them enough to slow them down, so they can't run away from us, that would be ideal. Right, let's grab these guys. Line ahead. Just, yeah, as a line, please. I'm gonna see. Probably won't make it work. Might see if I can split this. Nah, it's not gonna happen in time. You might have to be content with damage without sinking, which, to be honest, I'm never content with, because it doesn't really make a difference in terms of a strategic level. Because, like I say, everything gets repaired and gets back in the game very quickly. We are continuing to beat up on this poor little light cruiser who just got hammered by a 16-inch shell. which is not going to create a good day for him. I don't think he's going to take many of those hits. And we're still putting hits out in these battlecruisers, which is nice. Cardinal limits flooding. I didn't even know you were flooding. Something I probably should be paying attention to. Yeah, so you're certainly taking some minor damage. And I do have to worry about these guys. They are starting to open fire at my heavy cruisers. Alright, I think it might be time to pull away. And return to the safety of our own battle line here. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. Saddens me. But if we continue to brawl, they've brought a lot more guns to the party. Isn't going to end well for us. Okay, let's turn. Do a full 180. Yeah, you guys are not coming at the right speed. You just can get annihilated by secondaries before you get close. Let's pull off. Uh-oh. Enemy aircraft boarding AH Destroyer 11. Destroyer division. Fine. So we do have the CVL somewhere. Let's see if we can't go hunting. Now, depending on what they've got escorting it, this may or may not go well if we find it with light cruisers and destroyers. CL Aurora, which is that one. I'm going to go with torpedo bombers, okay. Okay, Minerva's hit by a torpedo. That's frustrating. But it's an air game for you when we have no air of our own. What's the damage like? It's not great, not terrible. You'll survive. Probably just break you off, send you home. True, you are my cruiser ones. Here you go. I don't want to lose you. Right, where are my battleships? On their way, slowly. Yeah, these guys are getting chewed up. And we're in an interesting position where if we now have ships on both sides of theirs, so they can't fire it again. It's only so many targets they can fire at. It does give us a bit of an opportunity to maybe put some pain down on their battleship line. And actually these guys might get close enough for a torpedo run. They're in such a bad position now, I think we're going to have to commit. Although ironically, I don't really want them turning away. Our battlecruiser's doing work on the Charlemagne. We all know what happened to the last one of them. Okay, this is looking excellent if they're really going to let me have it, which I'm surprised at. And yes, yes they are. Alright. Go for it. Now the Ulan and the Python may moan about ships in the way, which is probably fair. Sure, we'll do that one. I don't think the Ulan's going to have a solution. It does. For one time you can arguably it's definitely ships in line of fire, but okay, we'll do that. And in a bit of a suicide maneuver, I'm actually going to turn towards them with the Warazdiner. Okay. Near miss. Torpedo tubes hit. No. Can you still fire, my man? Let's hope it's not like the last ship, but torpedoes went underneath for some cheating. Yeah. Yeah, there is no Solferino, that's a good point. Fire those. And they are coming in this direction. Probably not close enough. I was going to say we could potentially bring another destroyer squadron, but I don't think they're close enough. I don't think it's worth it. Might get you guys to, having done a job, turn away. So you don't get eaten by... Ooh, that looks nice. It's nice, okay. Oh, you're all out. Okay. You can pull off north, job done. If you get out, fantastic. Even though I was just saying I don't think it's worth it, I'm going to line these guys up as a potential option, because rather the option and not take it and kick myself because I didn't have them in place. I do have to watch their battle cruisers, because I don't want them to, oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. There she is. Okay. So we've found her. Oh, in fact, is that her? Another one? Okay. Definitely want to keep these guys steaming south. We've found our targets. Come on. I did say 2 CVLs. They might not be both accurate identifications, but that's what it looks like. Have these guys turn around, turn as well. Yeah, you're not damaged, you can come back in a fight. I'm annoyed that we've missed with this entire torpedo salvo. But it's one of these things with torpedoes, it's a bit of a... Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I don't really want to shoot any of those things. Fortunately, it's usually fatal for destroyers when it's this healthier AI squadron. Right, we'll try that. We do still have the guns though, so it's not, we're not reliant on our torpedoes. We are hitting the Requiem from the Kaiser, that's good. And then destroyers taking a bit of a beating as expected. Right, you need to get out of the way of my own torpedoes. We were just speaking about that. Yeah, actually I shouldn't have done that, because if you are dead in the water, it's going badly. You torpedoed out? Not quite. Fire what you can, get out of there. It's good. Let's just get them all in the water. Yeah, I may hit my own ship here. A small price to pay. Right, we are... Oh, they've got another battleship back here, defending the CVLs. Well as their light cruiser force and the two... These are the battle cruisers I believe we saw earlier. Yeah. One other battle cruiser in here. No, it was just a force of 2 we saw actually. I take it back. Does the Almatar... Yes, it does report 2 CVLs for the French. We definitely have the potential of them both being here. And... Is that the one how you get? No, it's the log. I've forgotten how you get it in this view. But we did check it before. All the world's fighting ships, there you go. Although this won't tell me where they are, of course. They have 4. But it did show 2 in the mid before we started this.
With the opening manoeuvres of battle underway, we're going to have to draw this episode to a close. So unlike our Italian experiences, it seems as if the war with France is going to be decided in a few large-scale engagements. Although I'm certainly not going to complain, it's always a pleasure to bring out your battleships, provided you can get them home again. But you are going to have to wait until the next episode to find out which way this one goes. So as ever, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will catch you in the next one.